Hello. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at using the TripHut DApp on the Cardano testnet. We'll look at creating a request to go on a vacation, voting on that request, and even receiving funds for that vacation. So the very first step from the homepage here is I'm going to go ahead and connect my wallet. It has to be NAMI currently, but support for other wallets will be added. So I'll go ahead and grant access. And then from here, I'm going to navigate to the community dropdown and then the travel request page. And so this is where we would submit the request. There's a few simple details to fill in here, such as contact information, country of residence, where we'd actually like to go on vacation, the travel dates, and then finally uh, a little explainer video, basically saying why you should be chosen to go on this dream vacation. The video does have to be a YouTube link currently, but any YouTube link should work. Okay, so at this point, after clicking submit, it's just building the transaction to be posted to the blockchain. We'll see here the NAMI wallet showing us the details of the transaction. I'm just going to go ahead and sign it. Excellent. Okay, so it says it's submitted successfully, and we'll see the actual details here along with the video. Um, and so it's basically just waiting. You see the little spinning icon here. This just means it's waiting for confirmation on the blockchain that this transaction actually has been posted. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just vote in favor. Of course, in a real world scenario, this is going to be multiple users and they're all voting on this. But just for simplicity for this demo, I'm just doing everything as a single user, voting on my own request, basically. Okay, so the check mark, of course, is to vote in favor. We're just going to let it build this transaction. Okay, so it took a little while to build, but here we have the details. We have a vote pass, which I can show you in a moment what that is. But essentially, in order to cast votes on these requests, you do need to hold one of these in your wallet. Right? But we see the transaction details. I'm just going to go ahead and sign this transaction. Okay, so now that we've submitted the request, we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer for this request to move past the voting stage into the next stage, which would be for vote counting. Now, because this is on testnet, this is all for testing purposes. This window is just 10 minutes, um, and so that way, allows you to play around with these requests a little bit more rapidly. Okay, so at this point, I've just fast forwarded a little bit in time. We can now see that there's a count vote button. Uh, so it means essentially that this request has passed the voting window, and we can now tally up those votes. So anyone can initiate this action. All right. So we see the request, or should I say the transaction details here. I'm just going to go ahead and sign this. All right, so we got confirmation that votes were counted successfully. The actual, of course, logic to verify that the votes were counted correctly, that all happens on chain. And so once this transaction actually has been posted and it's showing up on the blockchain, we should actually see the vote count here automatically update. So just give it a moment. Uh, there we go. Okay, so we see one vote. And since we've completed the tallying of all the votes, the next step is to actually, in this case, because there was one vote that's 100% in favor, we can actually fund this request. All right, so I've clicked that option. Okay, so in this case, at least here on the testnet, everything is set to be 100 ADA for each one of these requests. And you'll see in this case, it's basically 100 minus whatever transaction fees are being sent back to me because I'm the only user in this test scenario here. Um, and so we can see if we look at the actual details, there's 500 or sorry 400 remaining test ADA. So that's coming from the treasury. It started out with 500 and we're receiving 100 there. We'll go ahead and assign this. And we got confirmation. It says requested funds paid successfully from the treasury. All right, so that basically finalizes this particular proposal or request. We can look in the wallet here. If we look at the details, we don't see the latest transaction showing up just yet. I'll just give it a moment to refresh. Okay, so we can now see the latest transaction where we received, the 100 minus some fees. And if we click into the details, we can see indeed that that is showing up on the testnet, the cexplorer.io. And we can see basically that, yeah, the treasury had 500 test data and we received 100 there. All right, so that shows the full process going from creating the initial request, voting, and then sending funds from the treasury, assuming that that particular request was voted in favor. And that concludes this short overview of the TripHut app. Thank you.